So hello and welcome once again to my layout new junction. Now, in my absence because of the Worley Model Railway exhibition in the last week or so, I have been busy still in these dark, cold evenings. As you can see, I've been painting my tunnel portals. Now, as you can see, these aren't the final tunnel portals, they're still in place, but I've been using the first draft as a test bed, mainly to see how the colours come out. Now, funnily enough, this colour is actually the same blue that's used on the Making Tracks layout, and it was recommended to me by Pete Waterman himself. It's a nice shameless plug to my layout, but it seems fitting that one of the rail nuts made the tunnel portals and one of the rail nuts advised me on the colour. So I'm quite happy with this. Now, it's not detailed, it is just very basic, very first attempt, but I'm happy enough with it that I will now dig this one out of the scene and actually paint this one up to this level and probably put a bit more care and attention into the real one. Right, so time to get on. First things first, I've got to dig out this tunnel portal, which is well and truly wedged into the scene. So let's get on. And there we are. Now, while these tunnel portals are being varnished up and painted, this does now give me full access through this big gaping hole to start painting the track and then get on to ballasting. So there's quite a snowball effect of jobs which now come to fruition, shall I say, because these are now out. So lots to get on with, but first, let's get varnishing. So I brought the tunnel mouths inside, and the very first step, as I mentioned, is to varnish it. Now this is because the laser cut edges, you see all the dark edges here, if you paint them neat, it will show up, it will show through the paint, the cut edges, the dark edges. So I've got myself some Rustin's quick drying MDF clear sealer, and that's just a case of brush it on, let it dry, and continue. As it's wet and windy outside and I want to get on, I have moved into the greenhouse. Now it's unused, so I'm not going to affect any plants, but as you can tell by the polystyrene, the colour that's already down, I'm about to paint these bridges. Now I say paint, I'm going to spray paint them. Now I'm using this, it's called Gold by Montana Cans, and it's the Deep Sea colour, and this was recommended to me to match the British blue brick, which I quite like. So I'm going to spray on a very light layer, let it settle for 4 or 5 minutes, then keep going until it's covered. And in the meantime, I can get on with some other jobs on the layout. So just quickly, while that first light spraying is drying on the tunnel mouths in the greenhouse, I thought I'd put the pre-painted ones in the hole, because ultimately the frame is the same size, and I have to say it looks rather good. Motivation to continue and do better the second time. Now, when I said I had a list of jobs as long as my arm to do once I took the tunnel mouths out, I wasn't joking. So in the interim of spraying those tunnel mouths, I also have to generally tidy the layout. I've got to replace this piece of track because I've got a lovely gap where one of the rails is raised and it's not runnable, so I need to redo that and put the copper clad sleepers in earlier. As you can see, I've stopped the time lapse because I have noticed, so they say things happen for a reason, so I've had to take up this piece of track, obviously. I've just noticed, I glanced along as I was putting the fish plates in, that there's no wires like there are here, I don't know if you can see that, joining the frog in the centre to the outside lines on this point. So that would have been very embarrassing. Now I had to confirm that just in case I'm going mental. Now there is an easy way. Now these are little circuits, they're from Model Tech, and basically you put them on the track and if there's power the light comes on. So this point's going to have to come up and be wired in properly. Look at that, that was almost disastrous. Now if I'd had stuck the piece of track in because I'm gluing my track in, I'd have had to pull it up again to be able to rewire this point. So lucky for me, I caught it just in time. All the other three of course are wired in properly, ready for points. Friday afternoon job, that one. I need to paint the rails underneath the tunnel mounds at very least, just coming out. I can do the rest once the tunnel's in place. That of course then leads on to the ballasting of, again, the bit underneath the tunnel, and of course the trackside details, if there are any, for underneath the tunnel and just at the entrance, because the ballast of course has to butt up to those details. I'm also repainting my road. Now what happened originally is I've got a lovely plaster blister right in the middle of the main segment, and it just wouldn't go away, so I had to sand it all back, let it properly dry out. Now that took several weeks because it is damp at the moment. And what I've done is I've repainted the road and relined it, and yeah, looking back to how it should have looked all those weeks ago. And the only other thing I'm focusing on as I'm doing the scenery, as it were, on this corner, is I've got to make sure the droppers are all in place and soldered in, and of course the copper clad sleepers behind on the join are in place and again soldered in, ready for when the boards get cut down. And somewhere in between all that, I hope to have a go playing trains in the middle, so wish me luck. So welcome to a bonus portion of the video. Now, a lot of you know that obviously I have a layout dog. Now this is Lulu, my Cocker Spaniel, and she is always down here amongst the floor when I'm doing any modelling. So I thought, what better way than to celebrate Christmas than to get Lulu a present with a spider on it. Thank you. This is Lulu. So I'm going to open this for Lulu. Can we open it? What's this? What's this? This looks like lots of dead things in a box. Perfect for all the doggies. And I will say, there's lots of stuff in here. And for a bonus element for all the dog lovers on the channel, I thought it was time to introduce you to another dog called Gizmo, who is Lulu's best friend in the world, looks half his age, but he's a Sprocket and he's slightly bigger. And some of you may have heard me reference him previously in live streams, but no, here's Gizmo. Is it? So look, you see he takes up all the floor space. So this looks disgusting, just to be frank. Ugh. But I'm sure the dogs will love it. What would you like? Do you want half a dead fish? There you go, you can have that. What else have we got? Look at that, chicken foot, you can have that. Ugh. Dog treats, eh? So as you can see, the dogs have left me to it while they've gone and devoured bits of animals which we wouldn't normally digest. But this has come from Hodgson's Hams, which I thought I'd treat the dogs to on behalf of the channel. And nice Christmas box of real things. So that'll keep them busy for a bit. So, back to modelling. And it was all going so well. Right, well, at least the tunnel portals have had their base coat. Obviously been varnished and then painted into this blue, and you can see, putting one above the other, how they look. And of course, I'm looking forward to this being fully dry. I'm going to leave this for a few hours now before I continue with the picking out of the stonework and the details, etc. Now, annoyingly, I wanted to leave this piece of track drying overnight before I get on with the painting of the rails, the ballasting, the droppers, etc, etc, not in that order. However, annoyingly, I have run out of wire, so I can't take this point out to be able to join the rails, annoyingly. So I'm going to have to leave it here. But I did get a chance to have a play with the trains, as you may have seen in the video. But I will say, as ever, progress is continuing. Hopefully I'll have this all sorted and done for the beginning of the next video. But I wanted to bring you it anyway, just to show that progress is continuing here on New Junction. So, I will say, as ever, thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to subscribe, should you wish. It's completely free. And of course, if you want to become a channel patron, like these good people, do so. It's very much appreciated. Right. All that's left now is to tidy up and go and sulk indoors. Right, see you next time.